Welcome back, traveler. Buckle up, because tonight we're diving into the bureaucratic circus that's unfolding in Washington. Spoiler alert, it's not an audit no matter what they're telling you. First off, let's clear the air. The Department of Government Efficiency, spearheaded by Elon Musk, is on a mission to slash the federal workforce. But calling this an audit is like calling a chainsaw a scalpel. An audit, especially of digital records, requires meticulous planning, a clear scope, and, oh yeah, forensic accountants who know what they're doing. According to the IRS, a proper audit involves identifying computer record-keeping requirements and recognizing the types of computer records provided. It's not about bulldozing through departments with a mandate to cut. An actual audit, especially of digital records, requires a meticulous process. It involves planning, defining the scope and objectives. Are we auditing financial records, compliance, or something else? This isn't a game of pin the tail on the donkey. You need a clear target: gathering evidence, collecting relevant data, which includes obtaining a list of records to review, both physical and digital. Evaluation, assessing the integrity of the records. This means checking for completeness, accuracy, and reliability. It's not about skimming through files like you're flipping channels. Reporting, documenting findings, and providing recommendations. This isn't a casual chat over coffee. It's a formal report detailing what's right, what's wrong, and how to fix it. And let's not forget, conducting such audits often requires the expertise of scores of forensic accountants. You know, people actually trained to dig deep into the numbers and uncover discrepancies. It's not a task you hand over to someone just because they have a fancy title or a fat wallet. Now, on to the next point of contention, the argument that if a federal agency isn't explicitly mentioned in the Constitution, it should be axed. Well, let's play that game, shall we? Here are some agencies that aren't name-dropped in the Constitution, but play pivotal roles in our nation's functioning. Central Intelligence Agency, because who needs intelligence gathering in today's world? Federal Reserve System, managing the nation's monetary policy is so overrated. Environmental Protection Agency, clean air and water are totally optional. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, exploring space? Meh. Federal Communications Commission, regulating interstate communications, who needs it? Securities and Exchange Commission, overseeing securities markets is just bureaucratic red tape. Social Security Administration, providing financial assistance to the elderly and disabled? Pfft. National Institutes of Health Medical Research is for the birds. Federal Aviation Administration aviation safety regulations? Unnecessary. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, protecting consumers from financial fraud? Why bother? I could go on and on and on, but the point is the Constitution doesn't list every single function of the federal government. Many agencies have been established over time to address evolving needs and challenges. Suggesting that we should eliminate agencies not explicitly mentioned in the Constitution is like saying we should abandon electricity because it's not in the Bible. Now, let's talk numbers. There's a narrative being pushed that the federal workforce is a bloated behemoth that needs trimming. But do the numbers support this claim? Let's take a stroll down memory lane from 1980 to today. In 1980, the US population was approximately 226 million. Fast forward to today, and we're hovering around 331 million, a roughly 46% increase. Now you'd think the federal workforce would have ballooned proportionally, right? Wrong. In 1980, there were about 2.8 million federal employees. Today, approximately 2.1 million. That's right. While the population increased, the federal workforce actually decreased by about 25%. So the next time someone tells you the federal government is growing out of control, feel free to hit them with these facts. In conclusion, let's call a spade a spade. What's happening isn't an audit, it's a poorly orchestrated attempt to dismantle essential functions of our government under the guise of efficiency. And the arguments being used to justify it are as flimsy as a house of cards in a hurricane. Once again, it's not an audit, it's not thoughtful reform, and it's certainly not in the best interest of the American people. So the real question is, who is this in the best interest of? Musk, clad in a black MAGA hat and accompanied by his son X, declared, "It's not optional to reduce federal expenses, it's essential." With the kind of confidence only a billionaire-turned bureaucratic reformer could muster, He went on to label the federal bureaucracy as an unelected, fourth, unconstitutional branch of government. One, he insisted, that needed to be held accountable. Brushing off criticism that DOGE's involvement amounted to a hostile takeover of the federal workforce, Musk remained defiant. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what the people are going to get, he said. That's what democracy is all about. Trump, never one to let the spotlight linger too long on someone else, doubled down on the mission at hand. He painted DOGE's work as a crusade against government waste, proudly proclaiming, "We've already found billions of dollars of abuse, incompetence, and corruption." Throughout their 30-minute exchange with reporters, both Trump and Musk repeatedly referred to these discoveries as fraud. As a person who recently witnessed the thrashing of the Kansas City Chiefs at the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles, one must ask, just how much did we, the U.S. taxpayers, pay for President Donald J. Trump to attend that event live? How much, dare I say, wasteful spending was involved in flying there? Security, snacks, I for one would like to see the receipts. When pressed about concerns regarding transparency, especially given Musk's deep financial ties to the federal government, Musk assured reporters that everything was above board. "All our actions are fully public," he stated, waving away skepticism. "It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that, they'll say it immediately." Well, the darndest thing. Despite Musk's grandstanding about transparency, where he once declared, "There should be no need for FOIA requests. All government data should be default public for maximum transparency." It turns out his own operation is playing a completely different game. The White House has officially designated the United States DOGE service as an entity shielded from public records requests until at least 2034. You read that right. 10 years of no peeking, no questions, and no accountability. How did they pull that off? Simple. They tucked DOGE under the Presidential Records Act, which means everything Musk's team does gets the same protection as presidential communications. No FOIA requests, no judicial oversight, nothing. That means DOGE can operate in the dark while gutting federal programs, and the American public won't see a single receipt for an entire decade. Katie Miller, a spokesperson for the initiative, smugly confirmed this move, posting on X that Mr. Musk's office was reorganized under the Executive Office of the President and is now subject to presidential records laws. Translation: good luck getting any transparency on what's being slashed, who's getting fired, or where those efficiency dollars are actually going. And just in case you were hoping that the National Archives might intervene, Trump fired the nation's archivist, Colleen Shogan, on Friday. No explanation, no justification, just a quick dismissal and a LinkedIn post confirming that she was out. Now, the very person responsible for maintaining and protecting presidential records is gone, leaving Trump and Musk free to keep or destroy whatever documents they want. Naturally, the White House is spinning this as just another example of Democrats overreacting. Harrison Fields, a White House spokesman for Musk's team, dismissed critics, saying, "Democrats continue to veer further from reality in their hysteria over DOGE." He insisted that the initiative simply aligns with its purpose to advise and assist the president on how to make government more efficient, because nothing says efficiency like shoving billions of dollars in budget cuts into a black hole where no one can track them. Legal watchdogs are already preparing to challenge this secrecy in court. But if history is any guide, they might be fighting an uphill battle. During Trump's first term, courts ruled in his favor when nonprofits tried to challenge his advisors' use of disappearing messages. If those same legal precedents hold, DOGE could delete every email, memo, and internal report before 2034, and there wouldn't be a damn thing anyone could do about it. So, what does this mean? It means that whatever Musk and Trump are cooking up behind closed doors, whether it's agency shutdowns, mass firings, or even more lucrative government contracts for Musk's own companies, you won't find out until they're long gone. And if Trump secures a third term, well then, you might never know at all. So much for transparency, huh? If you found this breakdown enlightening, or at least mildly entertaining, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because staying informed is the first step in holding power to account.